A 501c3 is a tax code to determine how your nonprofit is taxed or not taxed. Most people believe that a 501c3 is the determining factor if you are a nonprofit or not, but this is actually the furthest thing from the truth. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to become a 501c3 and a couple of things you need to do before you can even apply. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Timothy Wright. We're back again with another video, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let's dive right into it. To become a 501c3, there's a couple of necessary steps that you're going to need to do first before you can even apply. The very first thing that we're going to need to do is actually apply directly with our state to become a nonprofit. Again, the 501c3 certification does not determine if you are a nonprofit or not. This only determines if your nonprofit is tax exempt or not. So the first thing, again, we have to do is become a nonprofit by filing directly with our state. But before we did that, I want to encourage you to start justifying what your mission, your vision, and what your purpose is going to be. The reason why this is so important is because you want to know what your mission is, because more than likely your state is going to ask you for it throughout the application, or they're going to ask you what the purpose of the organization is when you're filing. Very simply, if you search Secretary of State, whatever state that you're in, more than likely they have an online filing process and you can file to become a nonprofit there. Now, after you receive your approval letters back from your state, you can now go ahead and get your EIN number. This is a representation of your nonprofit social, if you will. When it comes to getting business credit, when it comes to opening up bank accounts, whatever it may be, you will use that number the same way you would use your social if you were applying for any credit cards as well. And then the last thing that you will need is an NTEE code. NTEE stands for National Taxonomy of Exempt Entities. This is something that the IRS will use to determine the type of entity you are, whether it be arts, whether it be education, whether it be mental health, whether it be opening up a group home. All these have different NTEE codes. And if you need to know what your nonprofit's NTEE code is, very simply, you can click the link in our description and download our free nonprofit starter kit, and you'll find it there. Now, after we've done all these things, now that we are officially a nonprofit organization, we have our EIN number, and we've located our NTEE code, we can now go ahead and apply to become a 501c3. A website that you can use if you plan on doing it yourself is pay.gov, P-A-Y-G-O-V. Now, once you get to this site, if you scroll down, you will see where it says apply for 1023 EZ. But before you do that, I want you to scroll all the way to the top, and you're going to see a search bar right there on the right, and you're going to search 1023 form. 1023 form. Now, when you search this form, two forms are going to pop up. You're going to see the 1023 EZ streamlined application, and then you're going to see the 1023 long form application. And just so you're educated, the 1023 EZ form is a streamlined application for nonprofits who plan on making $50,000 or less for the first 2 to 3 years. And you also are going to need to have $200,000 or less in assets. So if you are a brand new organization, you haven't made any money, and you're not even sure if you're going to make more than 50K, and my recommendation, you should apply for the 1023 EZ form, because if you get to a point where you're making more than $50,000 on an annual basis, but it wasn't intended, all you need to do is submit your 990 form to the IRS, and they will not penalize you for making more than $50,000. But if you see yourself making more than $50,000, or you already have more than $200,000 in assets for this organization, you're going to need to apply for the 1023 long form, which gives your organization an opportunity to make as much money as you like. Now, when you start the application, it's very simple. You will implement all of the basic information for your organization, the name, the location, the EIN number, and then you have a chance to implement your board of directors or your initial directors. So for your initial directors, even if you aren't a board member, you're going to put yourself on there because you are the incorporator of the organization. So you can put your title as the president, the CEO, the incorporator, whichever one you desire. And then you'll need to add an address for all of your board members. So one thing that we realized that the states prefer, they prefer all the addresses of the board members to also match the nonprofit's address. So you don't have to call all your board members and get all of their addresses. All you need to do is copy and paste the same address for your nonprofit's mailing address. That's going to be the same address for your board member's address as well. Now, the thing about the long form application is there are some budgets, some numbers that you have to implement in order for you to actually be approved. This is going to require some conceptual budgeting and just also some knowledge about what you should and shouldn't be doing with your nonprofit organization, which is why we offer our done for you services, where we can apply your long form for you to ensure that you do it correctly. And if that's something that you're interested in, you can also click the link in our description and you'll see our done for you services there. Now, once you get to the end of your application, you're gonna need to sign it as the incorporated, which will be yourself, and then you'll make payment. So the 1023 EZ form is $275. The 1023 loan form is $600. This is something that has to be paid in full. Pay.gov doesn't offer any payment plans. And then once your application is submitted, you'll wait. The difference between this application and probably any other application that you'll do in your nonprofit journey is that all applications will be approved and delivered through email. Now with your 501c3, your 501c3 approval letter will not come through your email. It'll come directly to your mailbox. So you want to make sure that the address that you have on file is correct, because that's exactly where they're going to be sending your 501c3 approval letter. So as I wrap up here, I just want to make sure you understand again, the 501c3 is not how you determine if you are a nonprofit or not. It is simply how you determine if the nonprofit that you have to file first is non-taxable or not. And then you may ask, well, Tim, can I be a nonprofit and not be a 501c3? Absolutely, you definitely can. But it's important for you to understand the incentives that you're going to be missing out on because you're not a 501c3, including grants and some funding opportunities. So look, guys, we hope this has been helpful. If it is, can you do us a favor and just share our video with a friend? Can you subscribe? Can you drop a comment down below letting us know what else you'd like to learn, or just the appreciation for the information that we're already providing? We definitely appreciate you. We're honored and privileged to be able to serve and support you. Click the link in our description if you need a personal touch on growing your organization. We'd love to serve you. I'm signing off. Peace.